Mad Max Fury Road is set in a post-apocalyptic world that is citizens are heavily affected by things such as radiation, mutation, and just a savage, brutal society. This savage, brutal society can be something that could be compared to Lord of the Flies. This generation that we see in Mad Max is a generation that's already been dealing with the post-nuclear war. They have people that are mutated. In fact, almost all the people that we go ahead and see throughout the movie have some sort of mutation that is a direct correlation to the nuclear war that happened. As far as the communication in the movie goes, there is verbal communication, but the communication I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about today is the nonverbal communication. Now, the nonverbal communication in this movie is awesome. We see that, like we talked about before, that humanity has gone ahead and it's devolved, if we can be frank. It's people are more savages than human. We tend to have more savage traits than we do human traits. Water is more precious than diamonds. We tend to kill without much thought. We tend to think of the Fury Road as bringing glory instead of being savage. We tend to look up to this guy who's a warlord and proclaim him as a god instead of a criminal and a downright dirty person. The integrity of the world itself is shaken. The axis of humanity is off balance. Now, when we go ahead and we get introduced to the characters Max and Furiosa and they first meet, neither one of them trusts each other, neither one of them knows each other, and throughout the world that they are a product of, neither one of them can be thought to trust each other. Now, it's only through the circumstance of being forced into a situation where they have to rely on one another to survive that they even start on their journey together. And it's only through them starting that journey that they're actually able to go ahead and gain trust in each other. Trust is the foundation of Max and Furiosa's relationship. They don't trust anyone else in this world. They're very self-reliant, you could say. As far as when we first start out and meet the characters, it's only through the actions that they go ahead and carry out that they gain trust in each other and that they can actually start to verbally communicate. We see Max go ahead and sacrifice himself by telling Furiosa and the ladies who were in the truck to go on without him, that he was going to go ahead and take down this war machine that was headed for them and try to save them when they were stalled. So they got stalled in this canyon. A war machine was coming to kill them, and Max knew that time was of the essence, that if they sat there and tried to fix it, they'd be sitting ducks, so he took the offensive, went ahead, and while full knowing that he may not come back, while full knowing that Furiosa, that he does not know that well at this point of the movie, may leave him, he goes ahead and expresses a selfless attitude and goes ahead and tries to save everyone. He does it successfully, and he makes it back. Furiosa does wait for him, and it gains their trust. Vice versa, Furiosa, when she first enters the canyon to go ahead and try to get the girls to safety, we go ahead and we see a selfless attitude by her too. She steps out of the vehicle while giving Max a switch combination. The only switch combination that she knows in her head for that truck that can go ahead and drive that truck. Without that switch combination, nobody can drive that truck. She goes ahead and gives Max that combination in confidence that he will get her friends out of there safely. She steps out of there not knowing what the future will hold for her. Max sees this. He's dumbfounded by this. He has not met another person like this in a while. And Furiosa feels the same way about Max. They both have this sort of nonverbal communication that's led by their actions that leads to trust in one another, which leads to their communication strengthening, their bond strengthening, and in the end, it leads to a cultural revolution, which is great. I also want to go ahead and talk to you guys about the conflict management that they have in this movie. Now, the conflict management for Furiosa and Max isn't that complex. They manage conflicts by going ahead and honing in on surviving. Now, when you're in a post-apocalyptic society that's been stripped of basically humanity as you know it and has led a lot of people to be savages, it leads Max, it leads Furiosa, as it would lead many of us, to our basic instinct of survival. How are we going to survive? What are we going to do to survive? We see time and time again when they have conflict in this movie, that they just go to that survival instinct. They go to that place, they focus in, whether it's Furiosa going ahead and driving through the sandstorms to get away, that's all survival. You know, if she stops, she's going back to the society, she's going to be tortured, she's going to be taken, possibly killed. If she goes another way, she knows that she's not going to survive, and her only instinct is to go through this crazy, crazy, crazy sandstorm that looks like it has some nuclear flares in there, to go ahead and lead her friends and herself on a path of survival. And Max is the same way throughout the movie, whether it's from starting out as a hood ornament and trying to just survive there, to going ahead and being in the desert with the girls and meeting back up with them on the bike to try to lead them to a civilization where they can all survive. But that's what I got for you guys as far as the conflict management goes of the situation of Fury Road and the nonverbal communication goes. I think both of these things are on display to this movie, and just it really, really magnifies both of these concepts, and it really does a great job at exploring both of these concepts in a way that we're not used to seeing in film today.